Welcome to the biggest and most prestigious event all season. Wait, that was last week? Then what the hell are we even doing here? What's up, degenerates? It's the disc golf world. I'm Jefferson, the one sleeping in a minivan. Alongside me, the one with all the holes in his game, Swiss Cheese. Shout out to all our wonderful Patreon members for your continued support, allowing us to bring you our style of coverage. The dgpt championships makes its mind up like a woman. Yep, misogyny. You're supposed to laugh. If you want to hear about the format and how much Swiss hates it, there's a different video for that. But it's hard to ignore the sheer number of people expressing how much they don't give a shit about this tournament directly because of the format. Now I can't see the analytics to back up what the comments are saying, but damn, doesn't look popular. Especially when you base it off those crowds. Although, I do have to say, why would someone come here when they can drive a bit longer and get a much better experience at USDGC? Very odd to have what is supposed to be the wrap-up event of the season, something we built up hype for the entire year with the dgpt points that really have no other purpose besides setting the championship up. All just to be something fans aren't interested in. I think next year we'll see not only the venue change to Lynchburg, but the format too. Because after all the shit talking, how can you do it again? Just like a dick pic in high school, look at how many ideas disc golf fans will unsolicitedly tell everyone. Not saying there's been a solution, but come on, when berg throwers even know there's a problem with the structure, there's gotta be some sort of change to create a sense of, people caring to watch. Because honestly, after I got done filming at the press conference, I didn't really care about the tournament. I literally left as soon as I possibly could and decided to take down a C tier in Nashville, which also probably had more people there than at the championship. I mean, when my options are throw discs or blindly catch a glimpse of a saucer going through some trees when I have about as much vision as my boy Ajax rocking the most stylish goggles on the course. Not sure how this is supposed to be the World Series or Super Bowl of the DGPT, because remember, the World Championships is not their event, so the idea should hopefully be convincing fans that this event actually has some sort of purpose. It's kind of like having equipment testing, but not wanting anyone else to know about it. At least that's what I'm assuming Prodigy's excuse was. But drop in the comments what you think about the Tour Championship, and while you're down there, might as well hit that subscribe button like it's first available. Currently, I'm driving 15 hours back to Wisconsin after spending 3 months living on the road in the minivan. Would be really cool to see how close we can get to 25,000 subs by the time I'm home. It would be much appreciated, so thank you all you disgenerates. But for now, Swiss, hit the people with the FPO recap.
Let's get through this in far less time than a can of Barbasol on hole 18 on the final day, because today's lead is over in the MPO. Day 1 saw Missy Gannon's stroke advantage erased completely as she dropped off the lead card altogether, shooting 1 under on the day after her worst putting performance. Since I don't know, I can't remember. And if you don't want any flashbacks of your own game, don't look at that performance on hole 6. It must have been that damn supermoon or something. Kristen Tatar was still looking in that throw pink form, took advantage jumping out to a 5 under through the front 9, erasing that advantage by hole 3 and extending from there. Only Silva Saarinen and Evelina Salonen kept pace on the day. Yet Tatar's 2 late bogeys tightened the race as she finished 6 under and 2 strokes ahead of the field. Silva Saarinen finished with a hot round of 7 under that had her move up 7 spots and with it eyeing a larger payout also. Tatar's dominance continued with a back-to-back 6 under rounds that had her lead extend to 3 strokes, while also featuring some of her classic Tatar C2 putting heroics, late hitting 3 in the final 5 holes. That was while Owen Scoggins was pushing her and actually cut her lead down to a single stroke at one point. Day 3 was all Owen and Missy's show, and Tatar stood back to watch the birdie train the two put on together. Both would have a share of the lead by hole 4, as Tatar simply didn't have an answer. Missy started her round with 4 straight birdies and a 6 under through the front half, as her putt came back faster than her fall mustard-colored beanies. Owen matched in that same span, but could not keep pace on the back half, as Missy didn't cool off. Standing on the tee of 18, Missy had the course record in hand and a 2-stroke lead over Owen and 3 over Tatar, only to finish the hole with a double bogey, and what turned out to be a 3-stroke swing handing the lead to Owen heading into the final round. Silva rounded out the final card, moving all the way up from her 13th position to start the championship, and would battle Evelina for that 4th place, but late bogeys cost her to finish 5th in the tournament. The final round started off with a stroke between arguably the 3 most consistent FPO players on the season, giving the tour the final day action that seemed to be missing from the MPO. Missy continued to put pressure on the competition by scoring on the front 9 like she did the day prior, scoring 6 birdies on the first 7. But costly bogeys resulted in 2-stroke swings and allowed her competition back in. leaving the fans with only 9 holes remaining and a race as tight as when the day started. Own with a single stroke lead, looking to capture her first championship victory in that payday. The 2-time and defending champion, Missy, looking for her third, and the most dangerous player in the FPO, Tatar, only 2 strokes off of that. Big time Missy would show out again, scoring 5 more birdies for her best round and what was the hot round of the tournament on the final day with a 9 under. Also becoming the only player to be a 3-time Disc Golf Pro Tour Championship winner. She had such control, the only remaining dramatics was just who would capture second place, as both Own and Tatar were tied with the approaches remaining on 18. Tatar would land hers on Circle's edge, only to have fans witness one of the craziest shots on the season. Own completely Richard Shanks her approach, so poorly in fact, fans might have had to have gotten out of the way. That was until the Mando pole popped out of nowhere, completely redirects her disc towards the green. That still just had to somehow finish just above the ad wall and ultimately into the circle. An absolute wild finish to the FPO season, and to ours for that matter. I know Silver had to be sick after that shot, as that fortunate redirect cost Tatar $4,000 in payout as the two ended up splitting. That's disc golf, and I guess more beer money for Own.
Beth at 69.
I just told myself, you got to will this one in there. Whatever you have, just will it in there.
This man is unbelievable. This is what athletes live for. This is the moment.
Over on the MPO side, the format didn't quite have the Gannon-Burr runaway battle that was predicted. Instead, found the next person with the highest stroke advantage with a 6-stroke lead on Gannon and an 8-stroke on third place. Didn't leave many in anticipation for Championship Sunday, if you couldn't have already tell by the crowd size. However, after a 39-footer on hole 1, followed by 2 more birdies, Gannon would quickly find himself taking 2 strokes on Ricky, who started his day with a missed C1X putt, not something we're used to seeing from the momentum player. He would also lose another stroke on hole 5 after a par, but on hole 6 would miss twice from C2 for his first bogey of the round. Bounced back with a 67-foot birdie putt to take back the stroke, only to hand it right back after an OB drive on hole 8 resulting in a bogey. Gannon then would tap in his birdie for a 2-stroke swing. Nailed the 45-footer on hole 9 just to follow it up with another clutch birdie to complete the turkey. Through the front 9, Gannon would overcome the 6-stroke deficit he started with. And this would begin the many lead changes, so try to keep up. Burr would find trouble from outside the circle on hole 11, while Ricky would capitalize from the situation to complete a 2-stroke swing, this time in his favor. Finding danger on hole 13 now, and Gannon navigating through the thick woods with ease, there would be another 2-stroke swing, this one not in Rick's favor. Sure, he would get a few more birdies and take a couple strokes, but the win was basically more out of sight than me when Simon Lizotte really orders broccoli on his pizza. Also, I want to address the time violation call. Some were saying it was uncalled for, others were finally happy to see someone playing by the rules. I believe I saw Gannon was clocked at 44 seconds, so he was over the time limit, but drop in the comments your thoughts, because another interesting point was brought up to me. How do you guys feel about Ricky's constant clapping, raptor legs, or whatever else intimidation factor he can strike into his opponent's soul? Because it was insinuated that he would not have made the call if he had the lead, which sort of implies saying that he's only going to make the call when it gains him an advantage, which is not the mindset we want players to have. Not to say it was their fault either. Ricky was playing by the rules and just wanted that 35 Gs. I don't see that as a bad thing or trying to gain a competitive advantage. But I want to hear what the people watching at home see, because I'm not allowed to film that, so I wasn't paying attention. Personally though, I liked it when Gannon got into it as well, pointing it out when he was making putts and celebrating when the disc barely left his hand. Brought another sense of entertainment. Shit, the battle almost made me wish I stayed for the final day. Nah. Gannon, the self-proclaimed not Woods player, shot not only the hot round at 10 under, but a course record on day 2 with a 13 down. That would tie the largest comeback in dgpt history, and also is exactly how we needed to end the season to become the first ever player to eclipse 200K earnings in a year. Burr's 2024 season without a doubt will go down as one of the greatest of all time. I know I saw some comments about losing respect for Ricky and how he acted, but come on. The dude essentially choked away what would have been his biggest payday of the year. I wouldn't want to be told how awesome second place is either. But I do want to quickly say, it was absolutely incredible to live the past 3 months alongside the professionals. Understanding what the lifestyle brings and the hardships that go unnoticed when one lives out of their car. Although, I can't really say if we'll be back on tour, and honestly, It doesn't look good. But I will say, I am extremely proud of what an uncle and nephew duo who walked into the sport with nothing were able to accomplish with virtually no help from the industry. I love disc golf, and the family aspect is what always drawn me back from someone who's always felt out of place in this world. And it really disappoints me to see that gets lost the higher up the chain you see. However, everyone listening, truly this is just the beginning of the disc golf world. For those that don't know, this was technically our first full season doing this style of coverage. We appreciate each and everyone who supported us in some way, from letting me crash on couches, paying for dinners, or just being an overall great person. You people are what make me give everything I possibly can for this sport and give me hope there's people out there that care just as much as we do. The connections and memories will always be cherished. Hopefully, some of the ideas that were talked about throughout the year become reality, as the future of disc golf is super bright. I'm not talking about just for the pros, but from the sneak peek I got of the next step of our little frisbee sport, it's going to be insane. And you can guarantee we at the disc golf world are here for the ride. Again, thank you to everyone who's shown any sort of support. You guys are genuinely the reason we bust our ass to provide you the best coverage of professional disc golf a 23-year-old and his uncle living in a minivan together can do. And we're not going anywhere this offseason, as there's 80 different players becoming free agents. So make sure to subscribe to not miss out and help your boys get to 25,000 subs before I get to stupid ass cold Wisconsin. Shit, if anyone has any cool ventures or ideas, hit the disc golf world up. I'm not trying to stay in the snow. 2025 is going to be the best year yet. You're not going to want to miss out.